TomoNews presents The Waffle House. Ew! A Florida couple has sworn off Waffle House entirely after finding a slimy green surprise in their drink. Claire Sheets and her husband were sipping on iced waters while waiting for their food when they noticed something ominous floating in one of the glasses. The couple realized with disgust that a small dead frog was bobbing about in the water and quickly called the waitress, who was equally shocked and disgusted.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. There's a frog in our drink.
A what?
A frog.
A frog?
Come look.
I don't know what the frick.
Look.
What the hell?
Oh my
Oh, but it in the ice. You know, I didn't drink so much.
With their appetite gone, the couple left and later filed a complaint with both the Waffle House corporate office and state health department. Health inspectors took a closer look at the diner days later and found 11 violations, though none are considered an immediate threat to the public. Oddly enough, there was no mention of any frogs in the state health report, even though Waffle House claims it's investigating the incident. As to where that frog came from, your guess is as good as ours.
Waffle House denies waitress $1,000 tip. Shayna Brown works the graveyard shift as a waitress at Raleigh, North Carolina Waffle House. The single mother of three served a Texas bacon patty melt to a man around 3 a.m. on Mother's Day. He paid his bill and left her a $1,000 tip with his credit card, but Waffle House managers told Brown she couldn't keep the money. They sent the money back to the generous tipper in case he wanted to dispute the claim. This is Waffle House's standard procedure for large tips left with credit cards. Weeks later, the anonymous tipper contacted Brown after hearing about the trouble and wrote her a check for $1,000. Do you think Waffle House was wrong for refusing to give her the money? Leave your thoughts in the comments.
Waffle House hero kicks woman beater out of diner.
And I will make you my motherfucking breakfast. How about that? How about that? You touch her again, and you will be my motherfucking breakfast.
A Waffle House patron who didn't like the way a man was treating his girlfriend gave the woman beater a taste of his own medicine, while another diner captured the whole confrontation with his cell phone. According to a YouTube user claiming to be the man's wife, the whole thing started when this couple's argument turned violent and the man went for the woman's throat. No one else in the restaurant reacted, so this guy got up and confronted the man, gently asking if he would please show his lady friend the respect she deserved so the patrons could enjoy their breakfast. Okay, no, not exactly.
What you gonna do, boy? Punk?
Eventually, he let the group go, and they all ran out of the restaurant. If the man did get handsy with that woman, we hope he learned his lesson. At the very least, all the other diners got to eat their breakfast in peace.
Woman gets shot in the face, carjacked by online date. An unlucky 34-year-old woman from Georgia was shot in the face and robbed by a man she met over an online dating site. The woman met the suspect, who goes by Cash, on dating site Badoo.com. She picked up Cash at the Days Inn Motel around 12:49 a.m., and the two went to Waffle House to grab some food. When they arrived, Cash ran inside and then came back out and told her to park in the dark. She refused. Cash went back in and then came out saying the food wasn't worth $20. On their way back to the motel, Cash pulled out a gun and shot the woman in the face. Cash then jacked her car and her cell phone and purse. Police have released Cash's profile photos in hopes of catching him. The bullet only grazed the woman's jaw, and she was released from the hospital later that day.
Hero shoots Waffle House robber to stop him from getting away. A robber who threatened diners with an assault rifle bit off more than he could chew when he raided a Waffle House near Dallas last week. Before he could escape with his ill-gotten loot, suspect Antoine Cooper was shot in the parking lot by a customer licensed to carry a concealed handgun. Witnesses said Cooper was brandishing an AK-47 when he walked into the restaurant at around 2:30 a.m. on July 7th. The 26-year-old from Dallas allegedly robbed several customers before plundering the restaurant's cash register. But the robber didn't count on one of the customers having a weapon. Police said the unnamed man followed Cooper into the parking lot and called out to the robber. Police said Cooper pointed the AK-47 when he turned around, so the man shot him several times. The man told police he was waiting for his wife to show up and feared Cooper could harm her or others in the area. Cooper remains in the hospital on life support. The man who shot Cooper was not arrested, and the case will be referred to a grand jury. Here's your good guy with a gun story of the day. People still rob Waffle Houses? It seems so 2000 and late. Anyway, it was 5 a.m. last Saturday morning, and staff at a Waffle House in Charleston, South Carolina, were preparing for the morning rush as bleary-eyed customers ate their breakfast and prepared for the day. Suddenly, cops say 19-year-old Joshua Jermaine Davis entered the restaurant with something other than breakfast on his mind. This was a robbery. But an unidentified customer with a concealed carry permit was rather displeased at having his meal interrupted, and after deciding to be that good guy with a gun, the unnamed man fired several shots at the would-be waffle robber, who later died at hospital. Police say at present no charges will be filed as the shooter was within his legal rights and was licensed to carry the firearm. Waffle House Division Manager Brandon Rogers told local paper The Post and Courier, "No one was hurt, which is the best part," before pausing and adding, "besides the suspect." Waffle House employees say the shooter saved them. Think this might change Waffle House's official no firearms allowed policy?
Waffle House waitress shot dead after telling man not to smoke inside. This Mississippi Waffle House was the site of a murder last night when a man shot a waitress for explaining the restaurant was a non-smoking establishment. Johnny Mount was at a Waffle House restaurant in Biloxi having a cigarette when a waitress told him smoking wasn't allowed inside the restaurant. The two reportedly got into an argument over the cigarette, which led Mount to step out of the restaurant and head to his car. He didn't leave, though. Local police say Mount reportedly pulled a gun out of his car, walked back into the Waffle House, and shot the 52-year-old waitress dead in the head. Mount was waiting outside when police showed up and surrendered himself to them. 45-year-old Johnny Max Mount is charged with first-degree murder. He is being held at the Harrison County Adult Detention Center on a $2 million bond.
Marine beaten down by gang in revenge attack over Ferguson shooting. Ralph Weems IV, a Marine and Iraq war veteran, was attacked by a group of around 20 people in a Huddle House parking lot last Saturday in West Point, Mississippi. Witnesses told police that his attackers were angry about the shooting of unarmed teenager Michael Brown in Missouri earlier this month. Weems and his friend David Knighton were told by witnesses that this place is not safe for whites. Despite receiving the warning, Weems and Knighton decided to enter the restaurant. After entering the restaurant, they soon began to argue with other customers. The argument resulted in the police being called. The two men left the restaurant after the police arrived. On their way home, they decided to go to Huddle House instead. However, they were followed by a gang of people from the Waffle House. Knighton said he saw his pal surrounded by a bunch of people as he walked from the restroom. The security guard told them all to leave, shortly before Weems was knocked to the ground and brutally beaten. Meanwhile, Knighton was blocked from helping Weems and received facial injuries. Weems was taken to a hospital and is currently in post-brain surgery coma. One of the suspects, Cortez McMillan, was arrested Monday evening.